Hi, Jason Solis here. I am going to be just talking about my comic strip, the one that you see should be right up to my left here after it's digitally done. The comic strip that you're watching me ink is, I think it's called a Soap Opera Digest. Yeah, that's right. I'm looking down because the computer's right down here. I'm getting to see what I actually recorded. It's about 10 minutes. I'll just go over a little bit about the comic. Now, you'll notice that some of it, about half of it's already been inked, and you're just seeing, I guess, the second half being inked, and maybe if I remember right, I was doing the text as well. The reason why you didn't get to see the first half is because I thought I pressed record, and I did not. And since I do this myself, and I have the camera off over my shoulder, I thought I pressed record. I checked it halfway through, and it wasn't recording. So there you go. At least you get the second half. In any case, again, my name is Jason Solis. This is my comic strip Perk at Work. It can be found at perkatworkcomic.com. You can also check out redgraycreative.com. It'll take you to the same place. It's a website that I'm working on. After my old website got hacked, I recently, last week, uploaded the last of these Perk at Work comics. So I had 700 and some odd comics that needed to be uploaded. I had not uploaded them since my site got hacked. Well, actually, my site got hacked years ago. I tried different platforms. I tried to put it on Tumblr. Not the place for me. Just not the place for me. I don't know. It just doesn't work. I tried to put it on Wix. I created a Wix site, and that didn't work for comics. It just doesn't work right now. It's just not built for that. So I'm back on WordPress, but I'm doing it through the WordPress.com. And I'm loving it, actually. I really do. I love it. I say I'm back on WordPress because I had WordPress before, and that's what got hacked. But it got hacked through a plugin. I was housing it on a server on GoDaddy. So it's a long story. In any case, let's talk about the comic strip at hand. Before we do, if you like hearing me talk about random things and see me draw, subscribe to my channel if you would, and if you like what you see, click that like button. I appreciate it. Soap Opera Digest. So in this one, basically, Sheryl says, and I'll post the final comic at the end so you can see it. So Cheryl's basically saying, like, Roger and Melissa broke up. Perk says, well, I don't know who they are. In essence, she tells him, well, these are the hottest couple in soap operas. He's like, I don't watch soap operas, and she's like, me neither. That's why they print this, so I can digest it all. Goofy joke, goofy gag, and the reason I state it like that, like a goofy gag, is that I'm getting more comfortable with being able to, or I'm getting more comfortable with my goofiness. There is humor is an interesting thing. We all think, well, I shouldn't say we all think, humor is seen as usually as comedy, things that make you laugh, and that's not necessarily what humor is. I believe humor is more multifaceted. Humor includes comedy, different types of comedy, of course, that which makes you laugh. A lot of humor makes you think. A lot of humor can be satirical, that may not make you laugh as much as it's amusing. And then you also get into a witty and a goofy. Sometimes those two overlap, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes things that are very witty are not necessarily goofy because they're highbrow or they're layered. And sometimes things which are, goofy aren't necessarily witty. Slapstick comedy is goofy, it's not witty. Sometimes you have a combination of both. I've started watching Community, and that is both witty and goofy, and the writing is just amazing, and I love it. In any case, with me, I've had an aversion to goofy, even though a lot of what I do is goofy. I've always wanted to be witty, and strangely, some of the stuff that I do that's witty, people like. Other stuff, it just kind of falls flat. Some people get it, other people don't. Goofy, yeah, I do get criticized. Granted, you get criticized for everything, right? But with Goofy, people kind of they like it. It's an escape. Goofy allows us to just get out of our own heads and just laugh at something for the sake of laughing at it. This is kind of borderline witty and goofy, right? Soap opera digest. She's got to digest all the information of all the soap operas or whatnot. Just goofy. So I'm having fun with that. Switching to something else, as you notice, this board that I am drawing on. It has all these lines. It's a what do you say? Sorry, a portable, like a mobile, I guess you could say, drawing table. So it has a handle, as you can see that handle there. It has some clips. You can't see the clips, but they're on there for bigger paper. But you can take it with you. You can hold it up with one hand and draw on it, so you're drawing at an angle. I like to prop it up against a table. I had a drawing table, and that was great. But what happens with a drawing table is that if you are, or the way I would draw, I would tape the paper to the drawing table because it's at an angle, and it would slide down. And you also want to draw kind of looking up, or else everything gets skewed in a weird way. So I would tape it, but if I had to draw at a certain angle, I have to peel it up and move it aside. And if I had measured where it's at, it's just horrible. This way I can just move the whole board. For anybody out there who is starting to do drawing and you want to, dabble in it, especially comic strips or whatnot, get one of these boards. You'll find it at any one of these art shops. If you can't find it at an art shop, go ahead and look online. If I can find a link, I'll probably put it underneath. But they're good. A drawing table costs you anywhere from $100 to maybe $300 to upwards $600. Who knows? But one of these will cost you about $40, and that with some masking tape, and you got yourself a drawing table, and you're set. You got your studio. The best thing about this is that I could take it with me. I took it with me to New York when I was working at MAD, and I could carry it around with me, and I'd go on the street and just be drawing. I drew several comic strips out there just on the street in New York, just sitting there, and I took my whole studio with me, so I can take it wherever. Right now I'm doing a lot of work in the kitchen because I do a lot of work early in the morning when everybody's asleep, and it's the furthest from all the bedrooms. And so I don't wake people, especially if I'm listening to my gypsy jazz, which I like to listen to while I'm working. Going back to the comic, as you can see, I'm drawing these bubbles. At this point right here, I was having a hard time trying to figure out how to space these bubbles out, and I'll talk as artist to artist. If you're watching this, you may be doing comics, you may not, but I'll talk to you as if you are doing comics, and I'll talk to you as if maybe you're not well established. Nothing against you. It's just that, let's say that you're new to intermediate, and you're learning about comics. These word balloons, I always call them word balloons. I think they're word bubbles. I can never remember. But quite frankly, they drive me crazy. Because you have to fit all the text in there and whatnot. Guys like Scott Adams doesn't even really use them. He just makes a line, which I actually like. That's what I started. I did these word balloons so that I could draw backgrounds, because you can't have just floating text and have background, so you have to have that. But as you can see, they kind of drive me crazy. Or you can't see they drive me crazy. I'm just telling you they drive me crazy. Any case, almost done here, and you get to see the final product, if you will. Of course, I have to erase everything, and I do a couple little alterations online just to make it look good. One thing I wanted to say is that the Bristol board is cut to 8.5 by 11. And what I do is I cut the bottom parts off, and I will place I have a little piece of paper strip, and I'm creating little comics like my old puppies on them. I just wanted to share that with you real quick. So this is finishing up. Again, I wanted to remind you, my name is Jason Solis, creator of Perk at Work. comic strip found at perkatworkcomic.com or redgraycreative.com. I say that because there's going to be other stuff on there. Enjoy.